Come on. Hello everybody, it's DJ. Welcome back to the channel. But what I wanted to do first is to go through a little bit of what I'm using in case people are interested. So I found out, I came out here and I went to Walmart and I bought a really nice combination rod and reel, 2-piece, 40 bucks. It was a Daiwa series. That for $45, I think it was. But it was decent, it worked, but just not, it wasn't really great. So I decided, you know, I'm going to use one of my old bass rods. So I pulled out an old Powell and with a Fluger reel, and I like the Fluger. But what happened though is on the Flugers, the for some reason on the handle here on the Fluger, it was like pressed on like aluminum foil of some sort, and the salt water tore it up pretty bad. I don't know if you can see, but I don't have to worry about that reel anymore, because unfortunately that pole and reel were stolen by a big red. I had the pole sitting in this hole right here, and then I don't know if you can see it, and the pole sits in there, and then he came along and ripped it right out of there, right out of the boat. Just whoo, it disappeared. Anyways, yeah, kind of was a bad day. Kind of frustrated me a little bit, but anyways, so I don't have that pole anymore. But I liked fishing for reds with the bass rod. I'm normally a finesse fisherman anyways. I like spin cast reels, spinning rods, reels, 8-pound line when I usually go bass fishing. So I'm more comfortable with the spin cast rod. And so what I did was I went down to the local bait or tackle store here on Ruth Street over here. It's called Fish On. Real nice guy. I told him, I said, hey, set me up with a rod and a reel that can stand up to the salt water. So he goes and he gets me this this rod right here. So I told him I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money. So what he did is he went and got me this rod. This is you've probably seen it in some of the videos now. It's a 13 rod. The company's 13. I think it's called Defy Black. It is going to be a fast medium 7'1". I love this thing. It's got perfect balance. It's got good feel. I like the way the reds fight with it. And on the same time, I told him I needed a pretty decent reel to go with it. So he pulled out this Daiwa Fuego, and it was a little more than I wanted to spend. It's about $100. I think the rod was $49, but the reel Fuego, this thing's, I think, saltwater proof, but it's a nice reel. I really like this. It does me, so far I've caught quite a few big fish with it, big redfish, and I'm gonna stick with it. Matter of fact, I got some Christmas money and I went and bought another rod and reel combo like this, and when I get enough money, I'll get a third one in case I get some friends or guests or something and they want to come over and fish with me. So anyways, I really like it. If you're thinking about it, get you something like this. Some of the fights might take a little longer than what most of you are used to. I mean, I probably could horse some of these fish in a little faster with a bait caster, but something about having that spin cast rod for me with the feel with my right hand, that works. So I like it. Another thing that I like to do, I like to throw basically this KO hook, 3/4, 5/0, and you just got to tie your hook on, and then you know, get your hook down here, and then you get yourself a 1/4 ounce split shot. Depending on the current, You put your split shot, you know, somewhere in this area, anywhere 15 to 24 inches, and throw it out there and let it kind of sit. Put a live shrimp on, or dead shrimp on the bottom, on the hook, and just kind of drag it. But what I do differently than just throwing it out and letting it sit waiting for a big red to come is I'm actually throwing it out and I'm bouncing it off the bottom, you know, and I'm moving it, constantly moving it. So even if it's dead, it still looks like it's alive. I get a lot of drum and sheephead that way. But I've got some pretty good trout too earlier before the weather changed. The other thing that you guys may not know about me is I moved here in October, and I've been out on the big lake a few times whenever we would come and visit. And the neighbor across the street from my father-in-law, Mr. Jonathan, would take me out fishing. Mr. Jonathan is a cool dude, and we would go out and catch trout and reds, but we would never catch any giant reds. I think I hooked one or two big ones up and broke them off before, and never, I mean, so I think most of the fish I've caught were just keeper reds under 27, but not very many, maybe 2 or 3 a trip. But since I've been here, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I had talked to a guy the night before on Friday. He said he caught a bunch of reds at Lambert's, so I decided I'm going to drive out to Lambert's. And I get out to Lambert's, and there were some boats. There were guide boats there. I didn't know they were guide boats, but it took me a while. But I watched what they were doing and paid attention, and I was like, okay, so this makes sense. So I just kind of started adopting my own style, and it started working. And that day, I think I got done with, I had 8 reds, all of them oversized, and I think I lost 5 or 6 more breaking them off because my line was just crap. But anyhow, back to what I was saying here is I've been fishing off and on now since October 15th, at least once a week, and I go to a different spot every time. If I'm not successful, then I move, and by the end of the day I'm probably right back to a couple of spots that are close by the launch ramp, and I'm throwing shrimp, and I usually catch some fish. But right now what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to tie on a new hook. So I'm just going to tie this on for now, that way I can keep it on my pole easier. So basically do that, zip, 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 go through here, grab the both pieces, let it go, let go the broken end, boom, you're done. It's a quick way, it's a strong knot. I know the pros have their own way, everybody has their own way to doing it. I'm just telling you, when I'm doing tournaments, or you're fishing in a rocky area like where we used to live in California, you're breaking off, you're getting snagged a lot. Time is important when you want to get back in the water. So for me, it works pretty well. So anyhow, that's it, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Yeah. Later. There you go. That's a big one. I can't slow him down.